There you go now, fellas. Here we go. We got the buzzer. Made under license in Singapore. Premium strong lager. 9%. Is it a 9% lager before? Not many of us, because I've hardly ever seen one in my life. You're kidding. I always say I like a strong lager, like 6% with flavour. I'll just show you the colour, guys. I'm not going to drink it out of a plastic cup. I've done that before and it's not so comfortable on the lips. So that's what she looks like. I'm just going to pour it in the cup and have it nice smooth surface. Not this jagged shit thing I've cut with a pocket knife. Wow, it's quite sweet and it doesn't taste strong and it doesn't taste like a lager. It tastes like, gotta get my head around that. I was expecting a strong lagery taste. So in Singapore you get these 3 for $12 Singaporean, so it's about 14 Australian. Our dollar's collapsing. Aussie dollars not going to be worth jack shit soon. I said to the missus, look, Australian dollar and the Japanese yen are, one on one. Let's buy some, because it's not going to stay that way. And by the time everyone got their cash out and I ordered it, instead of getting 98.9 or whatever it was when I decided, we got 96.8 or something, which is pretty good. We asked at the airport on the way here, and I'm talking only a month ago, and I said, how much for the Japanese yen? And he said, we'll give you 80. So I've got $16 per 100 extra already. And we all got 1,000 each. It's amazing, isn't it? It's $160 we've already made. And it's going down. So if you're going to Japan, go and get some cash before it destroys itself, our Aussie dollar. And the trick is, do it online, you get a huge better rate. The missus works for Qantas, she was going to get 85 on the spot, and I looked it up the day before, you actually got 92 online. It's a big difference to 80, isn't it? $12 per 100. That's $120 for 1,000, yeah, and that's the way it's going. All right, and we got better than that. 96.8 is better than 92. One of the missus's friends said, "Oh no, Aussie dollar's going up. Will be $1.20 to the Japanese. You've lost money." And I said to the missus that will never happen ever. It's never happened before, and it will never happen in the future. And I think it was the same friend, work colleague, that said they drive on the same side of the road as Australia. Oh, except for Kyoto and Osaka, they drive on the other side. And I said, oh shit. All of Japan drive on the left, like Australia. It'd be like Sydney saying, no, we're going to drive on the other side of the road. Bullshit. I said, listen to some of your workers that talk absolute rubbish. Some people, they've done jack shit and they think they know everything. Honestly. I said, look, I remember it being in Osaka and Kyoto and they drove on the left side, like the rest of Japan. How can he make up some shit like that? It's like someone's told him some crap and he just swallows it. You gotta do your homework. Don't start sprouting off fucking absolute rubbish bullshit. That's not gonna get you anywhere in life. Just earns a disrespect. I've lost respect for him talking crap. We listen to him, we wouldn't have got our dollars. We'd have lost at least $4 per hunch. But we're not going to lose. If we didn't buy it, we weren't going to get $1.20 or, the one to, well, Japan is like 100 times our dollars, the yen. Pretty easy to work out. Good when it's 1 to 100. Really good. One thing you got to watch out in Japan, they put tax on 7-Eleven and shit. After you got the price and then you go over and they put tax on it, so it costs you more. I didn't know that. So yeah, I just paid, done it, did it, got out of there. Cheers, guys. Welcome to Singapore. I can see the mosque, or one of the mosques from here, but all I can say is I haven't heard anyone doing their prayers. I don't know what's going on about. Well, I talked to the Malay taxi driver the other day. He said all the Malay people have left. He said 95% of them are Muslim. He said my daughter, my cousin, my wife's brother, and 3 other family members all left Singapore and gone to Australia, which is weird. So I reckon Australia's going to turn Islamic, just like England. They've got Sharia law now in certain councils because they've been voted in because the overwhelming numbers of Muslims that have 5 to 10 kids each, and they have 4 wives, so they'll have 16 to, like 10 kids times 4, 40, 16 to 40 kids to our 1. Is that good for the earth? Honestly, you tell me. Is that really good for the earth to have 10 kids with 4 different wives? And you can't pay for them, but the government has to pay for them all? Yeah, it's not good. At least they're breeding. No one else is breeding. The whole world's on a decline in breeding except for the Muslims. So, look, if they were really highly educated and had heaps of money and they could pay for all their kids, yeah, fair enough. But not on the government's giggle. That's all the people work their guts out their whole life for paying for it all and not getting a pension. You know what the worst thing in Australia is? People get old, they've worked their whole life, and they got to sell their house to go into a retirement, like a retirement home. More than that, and like my wife's dad got into a brand new facility for free. But the Australian people, like he wasn't born in Australia, some bloke never worked a day of his life, and he got free accommodation when we couldn't look after him anymore. We set fire to the house and we burnt the house down. But my dad, he has to sell his house and put up $400,000 to go into a retirement village. What's that all about? It's like anti-Australian. It's like really, the government's gone mental. We don't overthrow the government soon. It's the end of the world for Aussies. Might as well pack up now and get the fuck out. Europe's going to be blown up. They've already told us they're going to nuke Europe. United States will get nuked. Parts of Australia will get nuked. You wait. Taiwan will get taken by the Chinese. There'll be a bloodbath. There'll be dead people everywhere. Taiwan will be destroyed. Even America warned, you attack Taiwan, we'll blow it up with nuclear bombs. So you can't get the chip factories, you can't get anything. How's that one? This is what people that run the world do. They destroy their partners in crime. Saddam Hussein, typical example. Shitloads of money, American behind him to fight Iranians. And then he said, Kuwait's pinching the oil, I'm thinking of invading. They said, yeah, go for it. And they invaded, and then America just wiped Iraq off the map. It's evil. Typical evil. The buzzer. Very interesting beer. So sweet, though. For 9%, you don't taste the alcohol. I reckon I find cans all over this joint on the street, just in the grass, and I see like a lot of people getting drunk just sitting on the grass. I shouldn't say the ethnicity, but I mentioned it before. There's so many of them around here, and they're just blind. They're there all night. A lot of people are sleeping out in the street and on the ground because it's pretty warm. It doesn't rain that much this time of year. Pretty amazing place, Singapore. The Malayans, they've all left. The Westerners got booted out a long time ago. Quite a long time ago. 43 or 41. Japanese come in and murdered all the Westerners, or sent them to Japan to work in unloading the ships, and worked them to death on the Burma Railway, and just used them up like pieces of shit. And America was behind it, believe it or not. They sold all the avgas to Japan. They made a fortune out of Japan during the Second World War. And Pearl Harbor was the setup. They knew the threat was there, and they said, oh no, leave those ships there. How's that one? They knew it was going to happen, and they sacrificed all their sailors and ships, the ones they left in port. Yeah, it's a bit of corruption all the way to the bank. Everyone making money out of killing people. I can't believe it. Fucking hell, what an evil fucking world we live in. End of the war, the Aussies said, no, you gotta punish the generals of the Japanese army that tortured all these Aussies. And the Americans said, nah, let them go. And there was one brutal man, killed thousands of Aussies, and the Australians wouldn't put up with it and just said, no, we want him, he's out. And they let him get killed, they got him and locked him up, or whatever they did with him. But that's like one person out of probably 10,000 that committed atrocities. They let them off, like the Germans. They just took all the scientists and all the people running the IBM extermination of the gypsies and the Jews. That was all run by IBM, and that's Bill Gates' dad. He was in charge of it. You believe that? The evil is reborn evil. Good on you. You're all kidding. I don't put any videos up anymore. I talk the truth when I'm half pissed. And I'm only half pissed. And I'm full from lunch. I can't think. All the blood's in the stomach. You're not thinking anymore, you're reacting. No good to react. I love everyone. Except the evil. And the devil incarnates Lucifer. And all these mates that are in the government. And all these mates that are running the world. Lucifer's world. That's a shocker, isn't it? So the plan for the nuclear war has been planned for 150 years, Third World War. The other two wars were planned. And this World War, we're going to kill 5 to 6 billion people with nuclear bombs. How's that one? They've got to get that population down to 500 million on the world by 2030. That's the agenda. That's why my channel gets strikes all the time and videos taken down. That's bullshit, isn't it? You can't talk the truth anymore. This book tells you about it. The evil, the Lucifer, the whole, the sigil. This has got about a sigil, and then what it is the triangle inside a circle, inside a square. And that's tattooed on these evil people. How's that one? So, do we all go out and get that one? Or do we reverse it? We make it the square inside the triangle, inside the circle. We reverse the sigil, the evil sigil, or we reverse it. Imagine that. Imagine if it worked. You reverse it and start turning the world back to good and the light. Because we're heading to the dark days. I mean, really dark days. I really don't want to go there. It's all pre-planned. Let's have another beer. I'm on a roll.